Hey, this is MacHeads 101. My name is Jake. Welcome to your 7th Java tutorial, and today I'm going to be talking about JRadioButtons. And so, if you remember in the last tutorial, we used file menus and we had radio button menu items so that only one can be selected at a time. Well, these radio buttons are kind of like checkboxes and only one can be selected at a time. So we're actually going to be making the same program I made in the last tutorial, just with radio buttons instead of a file menu, which is where when you select one, it changes the background to whatever you said. So I'm actually going to have more colors in this tutorial just because it's more fun that way. So I'll make this implement action listener just so we can actually, do something. So private J radio button red. I'm going to copy and paste this a couple of times. So we're going to have 5 colors. Red, blue, yellow, green, and magenta. Because that's a fun one. And I have no idea how to spell magenta. Alright, so now public second, it's a constructor. I'll set layout as just a new flow layout because I don't feel like coding a custom layout right now. Set visible true. Set default close operation. Set size, I'll make it 400 by 250. Alright? So now red equals new J radio button, and in there I'll put in red so you know what each button is going to be doing. And I'll just copy and paste this 4 more times to do for each other button. So blue, yellow, green, magenta, and of course I'm going to change the label of it to all that. So blue, red, blue, yellow, green, magenta. Right now I'm going to make that a button group. And what that means is if when I add things to a group, only one of them can be selected at a time. And since I only want that because the background can only be one color at a time, which is why these are radio buttons in the first place. A radio button means it can only be one thing at a time. So do that button group, I'll call it group, equals new button group. And I just have to add these to the group. So group.add red. And I'm going to copy and paste this because I'm lazy. Blue, yellow, and magenta. Alright, so I think what else I have to do. Oh yeah, add the action listener to them. So red.add action listener this. So that adds this action listener, the one that's being implemented. And yeah, so we'll do that for blue, yellow, green, and magenta. And now I just have to add all those components to the window, otherwise they're just not going to show up, and that would be bad. So, yeah. So add red, add blue, add green, magenta. And, yeah. Alright, so now the last thing to do is build that action listener. Or else the whole point of our program, there's no point because we're just trying to change the colors. So, yeah. And so in this method is we're gonna change the color based on what's selected. So public void action performed action event E. Alright, so now if e.getSource equals red, so basically if red is selected, if the location of the event is red, if red is selected, set background color dot red. And that basically means if red's selected, set the background color as red. And I'm just going to do that for blue and yellow and green and magenta. So blue, blue, yellow, yellow, green, green, and magenta is one of these colors, luckily. So color dot magenta. Okay, so that's our action listener. And in here I just have to do this. Second S equals new second. That's all. And I'm not doing s.setVisible this time because it's set visible in here. So now I'm just going to run this and you'll see exactly what it does. Alright, so here's our 5 buttons. And let me just resize this because I feel like it. So red, blue, green, yellow, magenta. So when I click red, the background becomes red. And when I click blue, it's blue, green, yellow, magenta. Okay? So basically, the group is what made it so you can't select more than one at a time, and the radio buttons, only one can be selected at a time. So as you can see, that one's selected, and then I try to click blue, and I can't select it because the radio buttons. So thank you for watching MacHeads 101. Subscribe and goodbye.